What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of For the Love of Wrestling. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Happy Monday, everybody. Good to see you. No, you are not seeing things. Yes, I am completely clean shaven. Did that for Star Wars Jeopardy this past weekend. Had the mustache so I could be Renegade Trebek. Then, as soon as that was done, we got rid of that because it was annoying. And now I'm going to let things kind of fill back in, but do not adjust your dials. What's going on, Walter? Good to see you. Got a lot to talk about today. We got last week's Impact and Smackdown to go through. Let's just jump right into things. Impact kicked off with AJ Francis, Rich Swann, and Bum B from UGK up in the VIP area, awaiting Joe Hendry's apology. First match of the night was Mustafa Ali versus Chris Bay. Solid X Division opener here. Both men went all out, but Ali nailed the 450 splash to pick up the victory here. Of course, this led into TNA Under Siege, which was the following night. You can check out the coverage on the Multiverse of Media to see what happened at Under Siege. Next match of the night was Danny Luna versus Alicia Edwards. Good knockouts action here. Alicia really showed her mettle. Masha Slamovich got involved on Alicia's behalf, allowing her to get the victory and give their team the momentum going into the tag title match that would occur at Under Siege. We had a Sami Callihan promo. Didn't really catch a whole lot there. It was a nice little video vignette now that he's back. Hammerstone took on Cody Deaner in a Sin City street fight. This was just a straight up slugfest. Typical street fight type of shenanigans. Hammerstone won with the torture rack. Post match had Jake Something come out to stir things up before their match at Under Siege, between the match between Something and Hammerstone. We then had a broken Matt Hardy and Speedball Mountain promo. Again, kind of setting things up for the Under Siege match the next day. We had a segment with Jonathan Gresham and Santino Marella, just ahead of Gresham's re-debut for TNA, which again was going to happen at Under Siege. We then get to the Joe Hendry apology segment, and this was just phenomenal. This was pure comedy. First, Joe Hendry is sitting in the middle of the ring, very much like the rock concert segments for WWE, just to kind of paint the picture for anyone who doesn't really follow TNA. So Joe Hendry is sitting there on his stool with his guitar, and the first thing he does is he plays live for the crowd the two disses that he's already dropped towards AJ Francis and Rich Swann. And then after those were done, he debuted a brand new diss song. Again, wrestling mirroring popular culture here, as we're in the middle of this Kendrick Lamar Drake battle. So now Joe Hendry is dropping his third diss track on TNA TV to AJ Francis to the tune of Creed's Higher, singing Can You Please Get Fired? Just chef's kiss in his parody and his wording and the way he flipped the track around. We then have Gia Miller talking to the system, getting a little bit of a hype again ahead of Under Siege, because at Under Siege it's going to be the system Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers taking on Matt Hardy and Speedball Mountain. And then, of course, Alicia and Masha taking on Spitfire for the Knockouts tag titles. So a little promo here to kind of hype things up. We then get Trey Miguel versus Ace Austin, and the winner of this match gets to challenge Mustafa Ali for the X Division title at Under Siege. Banner match between these two X Division superstars. Ace Austin gets the win, and as a result, he gets to challenge Mustafa Ali at Under Siege. We then had a Josh Alexander and Eric Young promo ahead of their tag team match against Steve Macklin and Frankie Kazarian. We then get Dimeless Dana Brooke, or Ash by Elegance, if you want to go by her legitimate gimmick name, coming up to the VIP section for the main event of Impact, which is, and I apologize if I botch this name, Miyu Yamashita taking on Jordan Grace for the Knockouts title. Again, there's a reason why they say the TNA and the Knockouts division is the standard in women's wrestling in the States. This match proves it. Phenomenal match here. Jordan Grace with the Juggernaut driver to retain the title. Just a hell of a matchup here. Kudos to both women. That wraps up TNA Impact for the week. All in all, it was a strong show. Good go home. Lots of stuff to set up Under Siege. And again, if you missed Under Siege, check out our coverage of it across the multiverse of media, as we did a full watch along for it. We're going to throw to commercial here. When we come back, we're going to get into SmackDown. Stay tuned.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And we are back. So, over on the SmackDown side of things, show kicked off with 8-woman tag team action as Bayley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill took on Damage Control and Tiffany Stratton. Over on the Damage Control side of things, we had Dakota Kai, Asuka, Kairi Sane. No Io Sky for some reason, not sure why. Banger opening contest here. All 8 women showed out. Multiple signature spots there just prior to the finish. Everybody able to get their move in. KOD locked up the win for the babyface team. My only complaint about this match is the way they brought everybody in. Like, normally you bring out one side, whether it's all the heels or all the baby faces, then you bring out the other side. For this match, they brought out like Bayley, Naomi, and then Tiffany, and then Damage Control, and then Bianca and Jade. So it was like you were kind of mixing up when the baby faces were coming out, when the heels were coming out. For a split second there, I thought Tiffany was going to be on the babyface team because she came out right after Bayley and Naomi. No idea what the decision making was there. Caught me a little bit off guard again. That's my only complaint on that match. Everything else about it was fantastic. We then had an A-Town Down Under promo. Typical shtick from these two guys. Love Theory, love Waller. Y'all know this already. We then had Kayla Braxton with Bianca and Jade talking about their match against the Kabuki Warriors, setting that up for Backlash. We then had Nick Aldis backstage with Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo getting an opportunity to talk to Nick Aldis. Bobby Lashley comes in. Lashley kind of disrespects Mello. Mello kind of disrespects Lashley back, possibly setting up a rivalry here. I'm down for some Mello versus Lashley type of stuff. I also could see Mello joining the Pride down the road. We're going to have to see where this develops, but definitely some seeds planted here early on in Mello's SmackDown career. We then had the New Catch Republic taking on AOP. Good tag team action. Again, I keep telling y'all, I'm just not sold on the AOP, but thankfully Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are good enough to actually get me interested in this match and are good enough to really carry the match. New Catch Republic brought the high-flying technical abilities to the match. AOP was bringing their power game. Power ended up winning out here as the AOP got the victory. We then had a backstage segment with Nick Aldis and Paul Heyman, and Paul accidentally lets it slip that Roman didn't pull himself from the draft. Paul pulled Roman from the draft, as Paul has not spoken to Roman since WrestleMania. So it's now been almost a month since Paul and Roman have spoken. And with everything going on in this new bloodline, I don't know if Paul wants to speak to Roman. Definitely an interesting development there. Paul Heyman ends up being the special guest on the RKO show before Solo Sikoa and Tamatanga strike RKO. Good segment here. I hope we get more RKO shows. I enjoyed the chemistry between Orton and Owens. Then we had just kind of a random match between LA Knight and Angel Garza from the Legado del Fantasma. Randomness doesn't mean it wasn't good, though. This was a fire match. LA Knight got the victory. Post-match, LA Knight cut a promo declaring himself for the King of the Ring. Santos says that he's in the tournament as well. Of course, King of the Ring kicks off tonight on Raw. They've announced 8 matches for tonight, 4 men's, 4 women's matches for King and Queen of the Ring. Still don't know who all's involved on the SmackDown side or what those matches are going to be. Hopefully we'll find that out tonight and we'll see the official brackets. I am so stoked and looking forward to King and Queen of the Ring. We're going to see something very special here, guys. Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov, Gunther versus Sheamus, Balor versus McIntyre. Yeah. And then Mysterio versus Kofi. Yes, please. We then get a promo from Carlito backstage talking about why he attacked Dragon Lee. And basically, it's everything that I've been saying for the last month and a half. You know, Carlito was supposed to be the one to team up with Rey at Mania. and they decided to go with Dragon Lee instead. And then when that attack happened, they went completely out of left field and brought in Andrade. And it's like Carlito came back for moments like that, and he got shunned by Ray. So he kind of feels the way Santos did when Ray first brought Carlito into the LWO. We then get a match between the Street Profits and A-Town Down Under. Great tag team action here to close out the wrestling portion of the show. A-Town Down Under retain the titles. No real surprise here. These guys are going to have a nice little run with the belts, probably until at least SummerSlam. So buckle in. If you're not a fan of A-Town Down Under, you better just get used to it. Main event segment was Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. This was typical go home show for a PLE. Both men getting face to face, cutting promo. You know, AJ went to do the Too Sweet Bullet Club to Cody, but then smacked the taste out of his mouth. Just another good segment to really kind of solidify and set up the pay-per-view. You definitely can see the difference in branding, whereas TNA used a match for the final segment to set up the pay-per-view, whereas WWE used a segment. But other than that, I think both shows really did what they needed to do to get the hype up for the pay-per-views, PLEs that were going to come the next couple of days. You know, Under Siege was happening while SmackDown aired, and then the next day was Backlash after SmackDown. So I give both shows 8 out of 10s. I think both shows did exactly what they needed to do. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to one more time run the watch along trailer. We'll come back. We'll do the shills. We'll get out of here and we'll wrap things up. Stay tuned.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And we are back. Once again, all the wrestling coming up here across the multiverse of media. So much good stuff, so many different brands that we will be covering, giving attention to. Next up, New Japan Wrestling Resurgence coming up at the end of the week here. And then, of course, we've got King Queen of the Ring. We've got Double or Nothing still coming this month. Again, just all the wrestling, all the professional wrestling, damn it. That's going to just about wrap things up. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Stat Boy Sports Bar, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. This is Stat Boy Mike opens the doors for the sports bar where the food is hot, the beer is ice cold, and the seats are warm. Pull yourself up a bar stool and engage in some professional sports and playoff conversation with your barkeep, Stat Boy Mike. Today, of course, will be Meech's Musings. Not sure what time, Boss Man Jeff will be going live with that, as he's always got some kind of shenanigans going on during the course of the day. He doesn't always get it right at time. So it might be 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. It might be after Raw. We'll just have to see. But be on the lookout for Meech's Musings from Jeff Meacham today. And then, of course, we'll be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, as I discuss tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw and the King of the Ring matches that take place. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us and tuning in today. Greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. I will see you guys next time.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Thank you, JJ. Appreciate you.